Yes, welcome back to the South Australian Sports Centre. Now, Poppy, plenty to get through, so try and make it quick. First one.
Hit me at it.
A lot of talk about Eddie Betts right now. Is he the best small forward in the game? Names that have been tossed up.
Yep.
Stephen Milne.
Yes.
Jeff Farmer.
Yeah.
Peter Dacos.
Yeah.
Phil Matera.
Yeah.
I haven't heard this one. I'm putting it in. Cyril Rioli.
I think so. You know what, though? I think that's a good half dozen players.
Yep.
I don't reckon there's a standout. Cyril has been a premiership player that makes him stand out as far as a record's concerned. But on his day, each of those people were capable of putting in a match-winning performance. Milne was unbelievable. Farmer, he could fly high, he could kick unbelievable goals. Matera, oh my God, in premiership years of the West Coast. Eddie Betts, at this moment, is the player most in form of any small forward in the competition at this moment. But I'd love him to do what he's doing today in a grand final, and that's what makes him.
That's the mark?
That's what I think so.
All right, a lot of talk about the Crows. This is the best squad ever. Is that the case or not? Do you need to win a premiership before you can say you're the best squad ever?
Well, I think you can. Maybe you could chuck that term around, best squad. But what is a best squad? It's capable of producing the best result. So in 96 and 97, that squad produced 2 premierships. Okay? Now, whether the squad had as much depth or not is irrelevant. But that squad produced 2 premierships, remembering that it was deep enough not to have Tony Modra in it, one of the game's greats. So I don't like comparing apples with oranges. They're both fruit, but they're both completely different. These two sides, these two squads at the moment, I don't think they're a great side. They've been very exciting. We're 4 rounds in. They've got 2 premierships. They're 4 rounds in, 2 premierships. Which one stands out?
2 premierships.
At this stage.
You know my theory on this. You can't compare eras. I think if the team of 97 played the team of 2017, 97 would get beat.
Yes.
Just based on athletics and
True
all that
enough.
stuff.
Sure.
All right, Commonwealth Games. There's been a lot of talk about that.
Yep.
This week, $10 million it costs to bid for the Commonwealth Games. Now, that doesn't mean you'll get it in 2013. So should we bid? Should we just hold off and say we're interested, take it or leave it?
I'm not sure that this state is in a position or is capable or is unified in any way, shape or form to put in a bid unless we are all 100% behind it. I don't see that. And I think our 2 political parties at the moment, they need to be unified in the bid. Mate, we can't turn on the power and have confidence at the moment. Could you imagine in the Commonwealth that if we lost power during a 100-metre final, can you imagine it?
And who's saying lights out?
It's just so until we can do things like running water and power, forget Commonwealth Games. In saying that, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? I always look to positive. Wouldn't it be great if, as we did in '56 for the Olympics, we had an athletics track at Adelaide Oval for the Commonwealth Games? Now, the reason I say this is because of this. Then if we have female athletes performing for our country at the stadium, not somewhere else, at the stadium, they could be recognised going forward because of their performances at the stadium. I don't want to see an Erin Phillips stand until she's won a grand final there, until she's contributed to the game. What she's done in basketball in America is irrelevant to me at Adelaide Oval. She's a beautiful, talented girl. She can't be represented there. But
seven games doesn't get your name.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Right.
I mean, I played 4 good ones and no one's mentioned my name.
Your name, the Rob Popplestone stand. By the time people said it'll be the end of the quarter.
It'll be Rob Popple, and that was it, not enough room. No, but seriously, I think that would be a reason to have a broader cross-section of athletes represented at that stadium. That stadium is cricket and football only at this
Look,
stage.
I agree with that. I'd love to see the Commonwealth Games here. I think it unites the city. I think there's so many spin-offs. Venues are left for things after, but I understand where you're coming from. A lot of people talked about Friday night footy, didn't want it. The old school said Friday night, Easter Friday should be left alone. 42,000 people attended, so I think we can say that's done and dusted now. That's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda, and so it should be.
Yep.
And to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be offended by more than 1 game happening.
Well, Rugby League had 3. Rugby League had 3.
You know, people are searching for things to do on that day. And, to be honest, on Easter Sunday as well. That's where the crowds... Although the crowds in Melbourne have been somewhat disappointing again.
Well, here's the disappointing one. GWS Power last weekend at Manuka Oval.
Yes.
Just over 9,000 to the game. So, they're trying to engage, understand where they're trying to go, but 9,000 for an AFL game?
That's right. So we've got GWS, a premiership contender, against Port Adelaide,
Top
a
8
finals contender, taking 9,000. I think we were getting more to our Crows games at Thurby Oval.
Yep. Okay, fair enough. A little bit wobbly at the moment. Of course, we're only 26 days away from, or 24, 25, away from the game in China.
Yeah.
With what's happening in Korea at the moment, there's some uncertainty now. The AFL is saying everything's still tracking okay, but suddenly Plan B's been launched. If it needs to be launched, probably not the best choice of words.
No, not the greatest.
But it will be played at the Gold Coast because it's the Gold Coast home game. So the biggest argument 4 months ago was whether Power should be wearing the colour jumpers they want to wear. Gold Coast not. Now it's wobbling. Hopefully it doesn't go down, but common sense will play a part.
Exactly, and so it should. But I will tell you this.
Wasted if it goes that
I will
way.
tell you this. If you walk around the Gold Coast these days, there's more Chinese signs than there are Aussie signs. So you'll feel as though you're over there in Beijing.
All right.
You know, look, it would be a shame. I think it's a great little adventure. I don't think it's commercially attractive as it's been made out to be. It's got a nice little interest for us, and there'll be a lot of people that watch it. I just wonder whether the risk of playing there and the reward possibly of playing there is worth Port Adelaide having to deal with an international game midway through a season whilst they're a finals contender.
That international travel component is a concern, but it's been $4 million to put the game on. Power have not taken any money out of the money that they had. That $4 million has come from other areas. Okay, a couple of quick ones we need to get to. Josh Jenkins and the busted ribs. Now, do clubs need to say what injury the player has? So, for instance, Warren Treadray asked Andrew Fagan whether Josh Jenkins had broken ribs. Andrew Fagan responded with, they're bruised, they're not broken. Now, two possibilities. Fagan may have only known that they were bruised, the medical people had told him that, or he knew they were broken and he's protecting the player. Either way, I think Andrew Fagan is right in what he said, that they're bruised.
But was he right? Did he have broken ribs? Or?
He's got broken ribs, that's why he's not playing. But why would he need to say that? Why does he need to tell you? Why, when a player's injured, does the club need to tell everybody what is wrong with him? Because he comes back to play in 2 weeks' time. Now, you've played. Tell me, you're playing against Jenkins. You know he's a key player, had cracked ribs, broken ribs. What's your first play?
Yeah, try to punch him in the ribs.
Straight in the ribs.
I understand
that.
So
hamstring different, I understand that.
In the old days, if you had a sore left shoulder, you'd strap your right. All of those sort of little games.
That's what I'm saying. So why make a statement?
Well, there's probably two big reasons, and one of them revolves money. These clubs are taking big money from betting agencies, and if you're a punter, you expect to know exactly how your team is going.
Bad luck. Punt responsibly.
Again. But, and second part of it, if you're paying big money as a sponsor and or as a member, you want to know how your players are. You don't want to be, I won't say lie because it's a bit of a harsh word, but you don't want the club hiding from you what the truth is.
Do you want your player protected or do you want him re-injured? Make a decision. That's all I'm saying. Quickly we go. The floor man again, give us the huge wind-up. Show jumping, ban it. That's what they're saying at opening.
Jumps racing. I can tell you right now, I'm very disappointed in Leon Bignell saying that jumps racing should be banned and it's barbaric. It is not barbaric. And I've had a huge amount of time with horse racing. I know I have to go, but next week I'm going to roll up the sleeves. I'm going to have a big go, because if the tree huggers close down jumps racing, right? I can tell you right now, forget international horse trials, forget show jumping, forget those sort of events as well. This is just the first step. Don't fall for it, public. Do not fall for it.
Just a quick one. If the ban went through, what happens to the horses that are being trained and kept? What happens to those horses?
Well, have you got a dog?
There you go.
It'll be munching
so
on
it's easy to say we've lost, and as tragic as it was, one horse had to be euthanased. We go, it's tragic.
Last weekend, people died in a car crash. Are cars banned this week?
A jockey died a week and a half ago, Cage, and nothing. Sorry, Poppy, and nothing was said. But I'm saying.
I know I'm aging, but
yeah, I know. Sorry, mate, but. That being the case, thousands of horses would have to be put down in a very short period of time. Is that true or not?
Okay. Here's one fact. I know you're going to go. One fact. Last year, the RSPCA euthanised 40,000 animals. The RSPCA euthanised 40,000 animals. Is anything being said about that? Bang.
Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. It went a little bit longer than we thought. Look forward to your company next week. Bye, everybody.